Hi and welcome to Lift Bridge Kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking with some fireside flannel. Seasons are changing. Fireside flannel is a great roasty, toasty brown ale. So we're going to think about a menu that really accents those roasty qualities to that fireside flannel. A lot of nutty flavors are in fireside too with the roasted malts that we use. So we're going to amp that up. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use a little bit of hazelnuts, or some roasted hazelnuts in our dish today. So we're going to make a couple pork tenderloins. Pork tenderloins are really nice and easy to cook up. They go pretty quick. They stay nice and tender, as long as you treat them right and don't overcook them, right? So that starts with brining them overnight. So we're going to brine these guys overnight with some fireside flannel, a little bit of onion, some garlic, some salt and pepper. So here's one of these pork tenderloins that's been sitting overnight. And here's the other one. And what we're going to want to do before we sear them is we're going to let them drain a little bit so they get that brine off of them, and you don't want to put them directly into a hot pan with all that water. So we're going to let them dry a little bit, then we're going to go ahead and sear them off, and then we'll add the roasted hazelnuts and some dried blueberries, some of our awesome fireside flannel, and then we'll finish cooking in the oven. That's going to create its own pan sauce as well. So we'll come back and check in after they're done searing. All right, so we're back searing these guys. They're just about done searing, look nice and brown. At this point, we're going to want to get them in the oven. But first, some roasted hazelnuts, some dried blueberries, and of course, some fireside flannel. That malt will start mixing with that pork. Ooh, there it goes. It'll sizzle a little bit. That's all right. We'll get a little bit more in, about a half a can. We'll let that sizzle away in the oven and braise for about 20 minutes. We want to keep checking that temp. Again, you don't want to eat raw pork, but check back on that in 20 minutes. Thank you. All right, our pork has been braising in the oven, so it is done. It's been in about 20 minutes. You want to check those babies to make sure they're about 150 degrees, and they are. So we'll put these aside to let them rest. They look fantastic, and we're going to let those rest while we make our pan sauce. So our pan sauce, we're going to use those awesome drippings that we got off of the pork tenderloin, and the hazelnuts, and the beer, and the blueberries. And what we're going to do is add a little bit more beer, and then we made a little bit of a flour and beer mix to just thicken that sauce up a little bit. We'll just start off slow, we'll let that simmer, and once that tightens up, then we're ready to plate. All right, so we got our pork out of the oven, it's rested. We made our pan sauce, and a good accompaniment to this meal is some root vegetables. So we got some great potatoes and some rainbow carrots, because why have a regular carrot when you can eat a rainbow carrot? So we'll just slice up the pork nice and thick, maybe about 1/2-inch slices. Wow, this turned out fantastic. That brown ale, as it was braising, kept it nice and moist on the inside, and you can see how moist it is. Wow, that looks great. So we'll just plate this up like such, and we'll take our blueberry roasted hazelnut fireside flannel sauce. It's nice and thick and deep and dark. Some great fall flavors there. We'll just ladle that right on. All right, how great does that look? Well, on a fall night, this will warm you up along with our fireside flannel. Cheers.